to Creativity Connects Shabbat. I'm Laura Mandel, Jewish Arts Collaborative Executive Director, and I'm so happy to be with you as we celebrate the arts. Creativity Connects Shabbat is now in its fourth year, bringing Jewish communities together across Massachusetts in celebration of the arts. This program is a centerpiece of J-Arts programming through which we share the beauty and diversity of the Jewish experience through all art forms year-round. Today is extra special because it's the moment in our year that we all come together, not just to celebrate the arts, but to think about the importance of our advocacy as we remember that the arts are not a given if we don't support them. Creativity Connects Shabbat is in collaboration with MASSCreative, the statewide arts advocacy organization, the Synagogue Council of Massachusetts, and you who make this come to life. We take this opportunity to reflect on how art enhances all of our lives and its integral role in Jewish tradition. This year, we're thinking about the who, the what, the where, the when, and the why of arts advocacy. We are the who. And now I hand it off to my colleagues and friends to share more.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for letting me join you for Creativity Connects Shabbat. I hope arts and culture have been a great part of your life in the last couple of years. My name is Michael Bobbitt, and I'm the Executive Director of Mass Cultural Council. Mass Cultural Council is an independent state agency which supports the cultural sector in the Commonwealth. Our work is done mostly through grants and support services to artists and arts, culture, and interpretive science organizations. Our funding comes from legislative appropriations, which we advocate for annually. The advocacy that we do primarily focuses on these appropriations in partnership with our friends at MASSCreative. This work is supported by organizations and citizens like you who believe in the power of culture. The arts absolutely enhance the quality of life, bring vibrancy to a community, makes Massachusetts a more competitive place to live, work, attract tourists, and businesses. But it's a huge economic driver. In fact, it's the third largest sector contributing to the state's GDP. If you're a fan of the cultural sector, it's important that you let your local, state, and federal legislators know. Your emails, letters, and phone calls go a long way to helping support our annual appropriations. The state's economy cannot recover without the cultural sector. So, during budget season and the upcoming American Rescue Plan budget appropriations, let the legislators know that they must support the cultural sector. And now that the sector is reopening, get out and see a play or an exhibit at a museum, or go salsa dancing or enjoy public art, and make donations. The sector needs you. The artists need you. The power of culture is real. Thank you, friends.
Art matters everywhere, and it is especially important to allow people's creativity to come to the surface, especially for groups or communities that are marginalized, for all of us to hear or to look at those stories, to bring BIPOC communities that are also Jewish to come to the forefront and to create spaces for them to be able to tell their stories, both visually or through music or through words. You're about to see one of the pieces that I created for this fellowship. It's an animation piece, and it's one of 9 pieces I created. This animation was really a collaboration between myself, a musician, and an animator. And what this fellowship allowed is for spaces to create collaborations. I usually work individually.
Halloim, dat Zipoyavo, Yele trots, Halloim, Zipoyavo, Boiche, Yele Boiche, Haye Zipoyavo, Hein Zipoyr, Halloim, Zipoyavo, Al Haloin, Al Haloin, dort Zipoir Jofo. Jelle trotz Al Haloin, Zipoir Jofo, Ofo, Boiche, Jelle, Boiche. Hai Zipoir Jofo. Ein Zipoir Al Haloin, Zipoir Jofo, Ofo. Al Haloin, Al Haloin, dort Zipoir Jofo. Jelle trotz Al Haloin, Zipoir Jofo, Ofo.
Boiche Yelet, boiche, ayet Zipor Yofo, ein Zipor al Chalon, Zipor Yofo, Yofo.
There were many times that I was really moved by the participants, especially when they shared their own stories or their family stories of migration. And when they actually found objects that meant something to them and their families. So there's not one specific story I can share with you. There are so many. And I think what I learned, or what is really memorable for me from this experience, is that people were willing to share these precious stories with someone they had just met. And they were willing to take photographs of these objects that meant something to them. And so for me, what I get out of the whole experience is the importance to create spaces to tell stories both visually and through oral or written form.
Arts matter as a tool in our community to better understand our place in humanity, better understand our identities, our ancestries, and how our unique experiences relate to the society around us. Throughout my workshops that I led as part of the Community Creative Fellowship, I noticed these two sides of experience, and both very real. One side of the preciousness of each memory and experience, and how we want to preserve and save and grasp on to those memories. And then another part about realizing how fleeting our experiences are and how fleeting our lives are, even in the scope of time and humanity, in our lineage and our ancestry. And so this song, Vapor, tries to give voice to that experience of the smallness, of how small we can feel in this wondrous, amazing, awesome expanse of time, ancestry, God, however you want to interpret it.
فرحتي وسروري والنفاس الألفاظ بافتراق فصار في خيبتي nicht erfahrt dem Eule. Mich wird der Bettler auf dem jüdischen Beisäule. Wer darf verliebt und noch dazu auf Jiddisch. Ki rov ma'aseinu tov. וימי חיינו הבל לפניך. فأنت في سر غيبي هامي أخفي من الوهم في ضميري تؤنسني بالنهار حقا وأنت عند الدوج السمير. تؤنسني بالنهار حقا وأنت عند الدوج السمير. Noch bloß das hoffnungslose Aftererdischen ungetlich ist noch das, was muss vergehen. Und noch ach noe is meridi ki rov ma'aseinu tov veyeme hayenu hevel lefanecha.
In one workshop that was targeted specifically to Jews with Middle Eastern descent, we really bonded over our shared experience of fragmentation, which became a theme of my upcoming album. And in this workshop, I gave participants the opportunity to reflect on their own fragmentation and to use that experience to feed the lyrics of a song. And this group in particular, all the groups really rose to the challenge and wrote some beautiful things. But this group in particular took the baton and ran with it and came up with such beautiful words and ideas. And their stories and their experiences are absolutely reflected in the song that resulted from that workshop, which is called Fragments.
My name is Tova Speeder, and I am an art therapist and community artist and educator. When asked when the arts matter most, my answer is now and always. The global pandemic really highlighted for us the need for the arts because it brought out a multitude of challenges, including feelings of isolation, heightened anxiety, lack of grounding, all of which are areas where art has been proven to make a positive difference. As an art therapist, I believe really strongly that engaging in art making is inherently therapeutic, and it can offer an accessible way into self-expression, self-care, and connection to others. An investment was made to pilot therapeutic art workshops for caregivers at partner organizations to help them process and reflect on the experiences that they had on the front lines this past year. I worked with over 150 people, teachers at Jewish day schools, parents of young children, staff at organizations that support older adults, including chaplains who work there, and just working with people to take a moment to pause, to breathe, and to reflect through art making. I'm going to share some examples of some of the types of artwork we work together on as participants engaged in activities to bring some light back through the darkness, really literally and metaphorically, as they created art on black paper. They reflected on their personal experience of the past year, and they breathed through their mark making. Some floated ink on water and created marbled art as a way to let go of the control that they had been needing and to appreciate the moment of being creative together. In a survey sent to participants, one noted, and I quote, "I needed this more than I realized." And I think that's just it. We all do. We all need this more than we realize. We need art. And the recent work that I've been working on, it started as an initiative for Mental Health Awareness Month, which was in May. But the need continues always. It's not just in one month. It's not just during the pandemic. It's always. And it enriches our personal and communal experiences. So when does art matter? It matters right now. So go make some art and share it with the world. I'd love to see what you come up with.
Hi, I'm Rabbi Sharon Cohen-Annisfeld, president of Hebrew College, and I'm so honored and delighted to have the opportunity to lend my voice to this important and inspiring effort, to Creativity Connects Shabbat in particular, to the wonderful work of J Arts more generally, and even more broadly, to the robust embrace of creativity in Jewish life. We must nurture the arts as part of our life together. We must nurture artists as a vital and life-giving part of our community. The Babylonian Talmud in Masechet Eruvin has a wonderful teaching that says, Ein Beit Midrash Bilo Chidush. There is no such thing as a Beit Midrash, as a house of study, without Chidush, without something new happening. The implication of the teaching is that the measure of a true Beit Midrash is the extent to which it elicits the new creative insights of the living, breathing human beings who gather around its tables. Artistic expression, exploration, innovation are such powerful ways of bringing this essential truth to life. I want to add a note about the particular importance, even urgency, of this work in our own time. The Hasidic master, the Or HaMeir, has a beautiful teaching on a verse from this week's Torah portion, Parashat Chayei Sarah. It's the verse in chapter 24, verse 1, that says, God blessed Abraham in everything. Berach Avraham Bakol. And the Hasidic master says this should not be understood to mean that Abraham was blessed with everything, but rather that he had the capacity to see blessing in everything. He goes on to say that serving God means striving to see and to hear the divine presence within the beautiful diversity of all creation. This Hasidic vision of Avraham is as one who celebrates and loves the beauty and diversity of the world, the beauty and diversity of our creation. in this moment, in this tender and uncertain time in our world, what a blessing to experience the gift of beauty through the work of artists who connect us to stories and texts that are timeless, who have the capacity to see beauty in the diversity of creation, and who strive to touch that which is transcendent. Thank you so much to J Arts for lifting up this work in our community. We at Hebrew College are so grateful and excited to be deepening our partnership with you now and in years to come as we create together a vibrant new shared campus in Newton that will be both a home and a hub for Jewish learning, community, and creativity. Shabbat Shalom.